What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch unboxing, and today I am unboxing a Timex, and it is the M79, the new release that literally was released late last week by Timex. It is the automatic version of the Q Time, and I just literally got it in the mail, and I am bringing it right away to do an unboxing. So here we go. So like I said, this hit the website just last week. I immediately ordered it when I saw it, and here it is. So very similar outer box and inner box to the Q Timex, and there you go. So outer box made out of cardboard, which we've seen before with the Q, and there it is, the M79. So again, really similar to the Q Time. There's some writing here. Our M79 Automatic is something entirely new, even though it may look familiar, inspired by the 1970s Q Timex and elevated with a 21 joule mechanical movement. This watch is a fresh interpretation of the much loved Timex. So just a little bit of wording here in two different languages. I don't know if this actually comes out. I don't see the booklet here, but it could be underneath here. I don't know. But let's take a look at the watch first. Okay. So there you go. Wrapped up very similarly to the Q. Everything is very similar here. And it's very cold because it just came in from my mailbox. And we've got a little bit of plastic on the outside here. So one thing I've been waiting to hear is the bezel on here. So I know I've had other Timex with a ratcheting bezel, and it wasn't very, very good. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about that. It is a little bit loose. It sounds like a lot more than 120 clicks. It does line up. Okay, so immediately what's different from the Q? I can tell you right off the bat, the dial is a lot different. There's applied indices, which is definitely different. The hands have the T on the hour hand, where it was just a circle, I believe, on the Q. Obviously, the ratcheting bezel, it has a loom pip. What else? It is bigger. It's definitely larger. It's 40 millimeters. You could see it does look larger. It has the exact same bracelet. And we have an automatic Miyota movement here. And that we knew was coming. And on the back here on the glass, it says the M79 Automatic Collection. So I guess there's going to be more of these because it's going to be a collection. Water resistant to 50 meters, stainless steel, which we knew. Then some numbers, automatic movement, and it says, let me see if I can see that, 18 millimeter lug. Very strange that it would actually say that. I've never seen a watch that actually put the lug width on the back. Very funny. I don't know why they would do that. Very similar acrylic domed glass on here. I was wondering if they would go with a sapphire. They did not. A sapphire, a mineral crystal, similar to what they did with the Giorgio Galli, and they did not. Pretty cool that you could see the movement. It's not a beautiful movement by any means, but it's nice that you could see it. It doesn't really make a difference with this movement, I guess, but it's always nice to have a see-through back. And the dial only says automatic on it. Obviously, it doesn't say Q. Which would make sense because it is not quartz. Overall, it feels pretty much very similar to the Q Timex, except it's obviously a little bit thicker and a little bit wider than the Q. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to do a really quick wristwatch check, and then I'll take this and I'll put this on my wrist. So I am wearing my Vacheron Overseas version 3. So this is the version 3 Overseas. This is the World Time discontinued model with the black and white or silver color tones. One of my favorite watches, and I wear it a ton. Okay, so I'm going to get this little tag off, see if I can. Yeah, it's pretty easy. There we go. And this tag just says Movement Japan, Ban China. So I would imagine the watch itself is probably China as well. Oh, we get a signed crown on this. Different. Did not have a signed crown on the Q Time. And let's see if this will fit me right out of the box. So this has a no, I think it's sized way too small for me right now. This has a very different feel to it, I think, than the Q Timex. The Q Timex was definitely thinner. This is a lot thicker, and okay, I could get it on, but it doesn't. It's a little bit tight. There we go. So I have a 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 40mm watch, and you can see it looks perfectly fine on me. Obviously, they're going for the Batman, the Rolex Batman look, with the black dial and the black and blue bezel. You know, I definitely understand that, and it's a super popular watch. And when they came out with the Q Time, that was actually a watch that existed. Those actual colors actually existed, so they decided to do something. You know, it was pretty much a faithful one-for-one re-release. That was 38mm. The original was 38mm. And what they've done here is they've gone and reinterpreted that design into an automatic version. And they've added in a couple of other little things that the original did not have, like I said. And I think they've done a really good job. I really like the Q, and I really like this watch a lot as well. It is a lot thicker, though, I will say. It sits on my wrist a little bit higher than the Q, and that was one of the things that I really liked about the Q, that it was so thin and it sat on the wrist pretty well. Maybe I could do a side-by-side with my Q so that you could see the differences. But honestly, a very nice watch. So we'll talk about price really quick. This watch was $280, I believe, is what I paid. I'd have to go back and look and see for sure. But when it came out, it was listed, I think it was $279 or $280 or something like that on the Timex website. And these actually sold out. Now they're going on eBay and they're selling for astronomical amounts of money. Well over the asking price. If you like this watch, just wait, and these are going to be re-released or restocked, because essentially they're not sold out. They're just out of stock, and then they'll get stock in, and then you'll be able to buy one. Let's check out the crown. I know it's not a screwed-in crown, obviously. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. You have the day and the date at 3 o'clock. And I really like the applied indices. So what I'll do is, maybe I could do a really quick loom test on this. Check out if that pip is actually loomed. I mean, I would assume it is, because it is a loom pip. I think this is going to be a very popular watch. I don't think this is going to, stay in stock for very long when this restocks. I could tell you that it's pretty much as nice as the Q, but you have an automatic watch, and it is a little bit bigger. When I listed my video for the Q, so many people came back and said they wish that it was 40mm or 41mm, 42mm. I think 40mm is a really sweet spot. 38 was fine, and I think a lot of people like that 40mm number. Rolex is 40mm. It kind of is that. It's the exact same dimensions. I think they made no mistake, and they made this 40mm obviously because, the actual Batman, the Rolex Batman, and the Pepsi are 40mm, the GMTs, so why not make these in 40mm? They're almost the exact same size. They aren't exactly the same size because they are lugless. and they have an integrated weaved bracelet that looks like a Jubilee, but is not. A very, very comfortable bracelet, in my opinion. I hear people complaining about it, that it pulls hairs, stuff. It does not do that for me. However, I'm not a very hairy guy. I don't have a lot of arm hair. I think it works really, really well. So like I said, I'll just do a really quick loom check, and then we'll end the video. Alright, well there you go. Loom is not crazy on this. It is pretty good. That pip is loomed, which isn't bad. And it's fading pretty quickly. But anyway, if you like this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Please follow me on Instagram at WatchChrisBlog. It is much appreciated and very helpful. Add a comment below. Tell me what you think of this watch, how it compares to the Q, and what do you think the next coloration will they release? Is it going to be a Pepsi? Are they going to do just a plain black bezel like a regular Submariner? Or are they going to do something a little bit different? I was hoping that they would do something like an Explorer with the steel bezel. I think that would really look cool. But yeah, add a comment below. Let me know what you think. And thank you for logging on.